Hello everyone and welcome back to our reading of I Live in Your Basement, Chapter 21. Let's get started. Huh? I stared at her in horror. Grinny grinned. The basement is filled with people, she exclaimed. Dozens of them. They call themselves the Basement Club. They stay down there until we all leave, and then they come upstairs and use our stuff. She laughed, as if she had just made up the funniest joke. Stop teasing your brother, Mom scolded her. Why are you picking on him, Grinny? Can't you see he's had a rough time? Sorry, Grinny said to me, stone grinning. She's nervous, Mom explained. She was very worried about you, Marco, really. I settled back on the pillow. The dream. It seemed so real, I murmured. Get some rest, Mom replied tenderly. You need time to get over this. She waved Grinny to the door. Your sister and I won't go out to the waiting room and let you get some sleep. But when can I go home? I demanded. Soon, Mom promised. As soon as Dr. Bailey checks you out. He said if you're okay, you can come home right away. Great, I cried. I really wanted to get out of that hospital bed. For one thing, the tight sheets were strangling me, and I knew I wouldn't have such weird, disturbing dreams in my own bed. See you later, Marco, Grinny called as she stepped out the door. She instantly poked her head back in. One last question, how much is 4 and 4? Grinny! Mom shoved Grinny down the hall. 9, I called after them. Grinny laughed. Hey, you got it right. I stared at the doorway for a long time after they left. Then I stared at the ceiling for a while, counting the white squares. My head throbbed, but I started to feel calmer. The room stopped spinning. I shut my eyes, and I guess I fell asleep. The next thing I knew, I felt someone gently tapping my shoulder. I opened my eyes to find a young doctor in a white lab coat staring down at me. Marco, are you awake? He asked softly. I'm Dr. Bailey. He didn't look anything like the Dr. Bailey in my dream. He had wavy blonde hair and bright blue eyes. He was young and tanned. He looked like an actor, a TV doctor, not a doctor in real life. How are you feeling? He asked, his voice low and raspy. A little dizzy. Do you have a headache? A little, I replied. That's normal, he said. Let me check you out, Marco. Bet you're ready to go home. I'm ready, I declared. Well, let's see. Dr. Bailey said, studying my eyes. Your eyes look nice and clear. That's a very good sign. Open your mouth, please. I opened my mouth. The doctor reached in with his right hand. He grabbed my tongue and started to pull it. Hey! I tried to protest, but I couldn't speak. His fingers tightened their grip on my tongue, and he pulled harder. Stop! You're hurting me! What are you doing? That's what I wanted to shout, but all I could get out was a muffled "Ugh!" Dr. Bailey tugged hard on my tongue. It slid out of my mouth, as long as a hot dog. I struggled to squirm away, but he held my chest down with one hand while he pulled my tongue with the other. Pulled! Pulled! My tongue was a yard long. It drooped down the side of the bed. Dr. Bailey reached deeper into my mouth and pulled. Pulled out more tongue. More! Yard after yard. My tongue curled on the floor, red and pink. I tossed my head back and struggled to breathe. As the doctor pulled more tongue from my open mouth. More tongue. More! My tongue piled up like an endless rat snake on the floor beside the bed. Humming to himself, Dr. Bailey continued to pull. It's a dream, I told myself. Another frightening nightmare. I shut my eyes tight and willed myself to wake up. To lift myself from the dream. Wake up, Marco. Wake up! Wake up! But when I opened my eyes, the doctor still hunched beside me, pulling out my tongue. Pulling. Pulling. It wasn't a dream. I don't know. I've never read any Goosebumps, but even this seems kind of... yeah, I don't think this is really happening. Anyway, that's all for today. I'll see you next time. See ya!